Orthodox Easter. Orthodox Easter, or better known, Pascha, is the largest and brightest Christian holiday. People believe that, on this day our passage from death to life, and from earth to heaven was completed. Some linguist scholars presume that the word Pascha derives from the Jewish holiday of Pesach, while the original theory states that it comes from the Greek phrase, I suffer. Easter is celebrated according to the lunar calendar. So each year is celebrated on different days of the month, and the time of its celebration passes according to its date, but always falls on a Sunday holiday. Every year there is a period between April 4th and May 7th. This year, Orthodox Easter is celebrated on May 2nd. Lent, or, as it is known in Russia, Veliki Post, is the most important and longest fast for Orthodox Christians, the main purpose of which is the physical and spiritual preparation for Easter. Traditionally, Lent lasts 48 days of excluding animal products, such as meat, fish, eggs and dairy products. The celebration of Easter lasts 7 days, and begins with the church service on Saturday evening, which carries on through the night, into the morning of Easter Sunday. At midnight, the priest and the parishioners walk around the church with a cross, and the bells ring. A wonderful, joyful, long-awaited holiday is celebrated with family, every day during Easter week. Traditionally, all the relatives greet each other with the words,
Христос воскрес!
Christ is risen, with a response being,
Воистину воскрес!
Verily he is risen. The greeting then ends with 3 kisses on the cheek. The symbols of Easter are painted eggs, butter cakes, and cottage cheese. The red painted eggs symbolize that Christ has given life with his blood. And the high Easter cake, covered with white icing and multicolored sprinkles, represents the body of Christ, symbolizes rebirth from death to a new life. One of the Orthodox Easter activities is fairly simple and fun. It's called Easter egg fight. The rule is that you start with the same ends, pointy to pointy. When one end is cracked, the winner uses the same end of their egg to try to crack the other, undamaged end of the opponent's egg. It then all comes down to whichever egg remains undamaged. Easter eggs can be dyed by dipping boiled eggs in edible dye, while creative painters can use wax and different dye baths to create some truly amazing creations.
Okay, so for this project you'll want a beet to get a pinkish color, onion skins will give you a deep mahogany, red cabbage will give you a nice tealy blue color, and I used turmeric for yellow. We also added in some flowers of your choice, and any sort of herbs or leaves, anything you can find. I just grabbed random our herb garden and some flowers from the grocery store. I also foraged for some greenery with my son. We have some pine and some fern, hemlock. I think we have some moss in there as well. So to get started, you want to peel all of your onions. I used about a bag of onions, depends on how many you're making, but this is what I ended up doing. Fill your pot with all the onion skins. Then what I'm doing next is taking my foliage. Here I have a little flower, and you press it tightly against the egg. Take your nylons, pantyhose, or you can use a cheesecloth here, and use that to tie the foliage around the egg. You can use a twist tie, or sometimes I was just tying it into a knot. Just make sure you keep it tight against the egg so you can get a nice imprint. For a different look, try wrapping the egg in the onion skin before you wrap it with the nylons. Okay, so for the cabbage, I ended up using a quarter of a cabbage. This will give you the nice teal color. So you want to add a quarter of a cabbage, just put that over the eggs. I just roughly chopped it up and cover the eggs. You might want to use a bigger pot than I did. For the beets, I chopped up 2 beets very roughly again and just put them in with the uncooked eggs. For the yellow, 2 tablespoons of turmeric. And fully submerge them all with water. I did add a dash of vinegar, bring to boil, and boil until done, about 15 minutes. After they are dry, cover them with oil to get a nice shiny look. I used coconut oil, but any type of olive oil or vegetable oil would be fine. So here's the final result for the eggs that we dyed naturally. I'm so happy with how they turned out. I had so much fun doing this. This one's probably my favorite. It's so pretty with just the contrast with the purple and the gold. I liked seeing the difference between the duck eggs and the chicken eggs and just the various shades of eggs, how they turned out. These ones here, this duck egg, it just looks like porcelain to me and very pretty. Yeah, so I would definitely do this again, highly suggest it. It was a fun way to involve my son, and you know, you get these unique eggs that these are the prettiest eggs that I've ever dyed, and I had so much fun making them. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, feel free to subscribe to see more, and I will talk to you later.
Multicultural Association of Russian-Speaking Women and Their Families, Ogonyok, would like to thank our volunteers for their contribution to this presentation. Content and Media, Luke Holmes. Content, Alicia Derefeyeva. We are fully run by volunteers from around Australia. We are looking forward to hear from people who can volunteer in all kinds of fields, and who are adaptable, all-rounders and multi-skilled. Please contact us through an email provided.